Hey, what's going on, everybody? Andrew McFadyen-Ketchum here on day 16 of reading from my second book of poems, Visiting Hours, which came out on March 12 with Stephen F. Austin University Press. And due to the strange times we're in, like everyone else who had anything come out or had any, poetic plans, I had to, cancel everything. And do this safer at home. I think that's what we're doing here in Tennessee, and I am officially over it. I was like Mr. Positive about it for the last month, and I mean it's fine, but I'm pretty worn out with the kids. I've got my toddler and year and a half year old, whatever you call that, not a toddler, not a baby, playing in there, and I don't know what they're getting into, and I'm just choosing not to care right now because I really want to read this poem to you because I haven't been able to read for a few days because it's just been hectic. It's just, it's all good. It'll be fine. I am still enjoying the time I'm getting to spend with the kids and with Karen and the family and everything. But I think we're all kind of getting a little worn out if we weren't already there. And if you're not worn out, I don't want to hear about it. Moving on to the book. This is the 16th poem, 16th day. It's called I Too Grow Tired of Winter. It's a little lengthy. It has sections, which I'll try to sort of, indicate. And the book is about my one of my childhood's best friends, Mary Ann Orlandi, who committed suicide in 2003. And it's about the experience of losing her and grieving and healing, which was a very slow process, much of which happened as a result of writing this book, which took about 10 years to write. This poem I probably started writing in 2008, 2009. Without further ado, I too grow tired of winter. I too grow tired of winter, tired of cold and no snow, tired of this rooftop, my life now of ice, hardened over more ice and time as ever without end. I too grow tired of the night smoke ever lifting from gutter grates, tired of the crepe myrtles and live oaks stunted in rows along 7th Avenue and Broad, tired of the Cumberland I've witnessed flood and crest and flood again from this high vantage point, a cotton slip of fog hovering above the barges, this bunched and bundled lifeline dividing the city. And what of the sun afloat in its chalice of sky? And what of the moon, the hard-boiled center of some other land vanquished long ago? How long must I wake yet again to this rooftop? How long must I rise to this high terrace of prepaid parking spots and frozen rain where days pass endlessly and night is always the same? Again, the 2nd Avenue Methodist quotes its sorrow on the hour. Again, the streetlights click on like dull fluorescence above portraits in a gallery, the arena's ring of blue arc lamps buoyed by the fog of the riverbank. As the thrum of rush hour grows dim, the billboards and office buildings gleaming white with the white light of the moon, always the same moon, 2/4 full and only just risen. What else can I say of this failed city, of this failed life? What else of my mother who still weeps into her hands, my father who still blames himself? There's a strange sort of truth in these starlings that rise from their perches, spiraling and always in unison, this flock shepherded by silence. Still, I am haunted by the blank space of my name to be filled in at the morgue, the gnawed cuticles of the coroner's hands. Still, I am haunted by the phone calls my father still has to make. The distant ringing of a cordless in the background. My sisters, the only passengers on the red-eyes bound for home that night over 15 years ago, lap belts securely fastened as their dark municipalities drop away from them. Chicago sinking into the blue canvas of Lake Michigan. The Hollywood marquee growing smaller and smaller in the window, like the bold capped letters of a seeing eye chart. Every night I follow memory the many miles from this rooftop to my home. Every night I slink the brick walkway from the mailbox to the stoop. I pass through the keyhole. I slip beneath the door. I sit in the kitchen counting the seconds until morning when daylight turns the blinds into blinding parallels. In the dark, I rifle curtains, only to watch them smooth themselves back to order. In shadow, I remove all the novels and neatly accordion maps from their spots on the shelves and place them on their faces on the floor like tarot, only to watch them open their spines, test their paper wings, and flutter back to their designations between bookends. Night after night, I practice fourth notes and fifths on the baby grand. Always, it ends the same. My mother startling awake from sleep. My father certain it's her, practicing scales the floor below like I did in life. And just as they turn the corner in their nightclothes, I vanish all over again. More than 15 years since I leapt from that ledge. More than 15 years since I took my leave of one world, only to awaken into this one. Same landmarks, same moon, same rush hour and scarred trees and night birds calling out, same voices rising from the street, but not a single human soul, not a single human body connected to them. That first night, I peered down from the ledge to see my carbon copy self 7 stories below, a mute form beneath a man's coat, the man nowhere to be found. And now your appearance each winter in your jacket and boots. And now, over a decade expired, you're pacing back and forth from the satellite dish to the ledge and back again, speaking to the air and sketching images in your notebooks with trembling hands. The old coat of arms in the cornice on a building across 7th, a green desk lamp making light in an 8-story window, other words for darkness, winter, fog, synonyms for grief. Speak, sad child, speak, scribbled, marked out, then circled several times with a note to self in the margin. This you keep. Every night, once the sun is full gone, I descend from this rooftop and take to the empty highways. I wander the countryside our fathers believed would save us. I hold my arms deep in frigid water until they burn. I traverse the frozen creeks, careful not to crack their glass roofs. I know how each night's journey will end before I even descend from the rooftop. I know that no matter how far I wander, no matter what words I form into what prayer, the same sun always turns the corner, and night ends with that telltale tug at my shoulders, and I am lifted from the earth and pulled back the way I have come, the cold silos and well-lit highways I've only just journeyed through, passing swiftly beneath my feet, the fiery light of the suburbs boiling the horizon, the cityscape of vacated condos and glowing complexes of high-rises and light climbing the curve of the earth, and I am back yet again in this city of dreamers. Listen, this wasn't what I had in mind, this rooftop. I did all I could to exit this life. I did not intend this ledge I leap from each day like a chore. Why have you damned me to this endless winter? I'd ask if I had a voice. Why won't you allow the American robins and cedar waxwings their return? I repeat and repeat in his ear. If God were a thing I had faith in, I'd place my hand across my heart and stand up straight. If God were a pair of wind-up teeth left here by a child, I'd set God on this ledge and watch God chatter to the brink. If God were anything at all, I'd say, return. I'd say, take me there. I'd say, why? Why won't this boy let me rest? Why won't you let me sleep? That's the end of the second section, and a crying baby is calling me. There's a link to buy the book if you'd like to. Please click it. I'll wash my hands, send you a copy, and I hope you're not as sick of this quarantine, or whatever we're calling this, as I am. Be well.